My name is Ray.
And where are you from?
I'm from up and down the East Coast. I moved a lot.
Oh, where's one of the what's one of the places where you used to live? Other than New York City?
Florida.
And what was your experience like in Florida versus New York?
Um, the beaches were beautiful. The fruit was fresh. The fish was fresh. Amazing food, natural food. It was quite an experience. I went to an all-white school. I was the only black student in the whole school. It was a very interesting experience. Had a really good time sometimes down there.
And could you elaborate more on that experience? How did it make you feel as being like the only black woman and
the only black child, period.
Yeah, the only black child, period, in a predominantly white school? How do you feel like that impacted your?
It made me thrive. It made me thrive. It made me achieve. It made me competitive. It made me, it made me push myself, because a lot of these people, they had never seen a person of color, a black person, a Native American, indigenous person such as myself. So they didn't know I was black. And then when they found out, and I found out I was the first kid in the school that was black, and I'm like, oh, well, I'm their first example. It's got to be the best example.
I like that. And so, because it definitely does, it helps to like separate from the norms of what people think black people really are, and when you just kind of put the fact that you're a human first and you put the work in and you did what you had to do. And so now that you're in New York, what do you do, and what are your interests? Like, what have you
Well,
been
I'm
doing here?
unemployed now, and my interests are basically to get back into a sustainable lifestyle, growing my own food, exercising, keeping my body strong, getting back to nature, and maybe getting out of the city, because I think it's going to get really bad.
And what are some practices that you do to implement those things that you want?
I save seeds. I grow things in my where I live. Let's see, what else do I do? Just finished swimming here, so that's the exercise aspect of it. I walk in the park all the time. I save my money, because I think times are going to get worse before they get better. And I think everybody should be saving their money. I think everybody should be preparing. I think everybody should be stocking up on seeds, learning how to grow, learning how to weld, do some type of trade, first aid, the basics of first aid. I think we need to go back a little bit, start learning how to be more self-sufficient so we can help not only ourselves but other people. So if things do crash, we can sustain ourselves.
Definitely, I agree. Thank you. What's your name?
Well, my name is Mr. Cruz, and I'm originally from Los Angeles.
When did you come out here to New York?
Some years ago, many moons. See, how can I start this story properly? I had a friend, and I won't mention his name, but he's a good friend of mine. He was arrested by cops down south in Wilmington, North Carolina. And surely he was in the house with a bunch of his so-called social friends. Police came in and arrested him. Now, constantly, he was arrested. He's supposed to do 9 to 10 years in prison. Profusely, they let him go. Because, for one thing, the people that he was with were criminals, or they had, criminal records. I've known people all my life. I'm about 45, actually. I've been around the bend long enough, so I understand.
45.
Yeah, and he told me a story, which is really true. He said to me, he got a second chance in life, and as listening to him, as what he told me, said nobody's perfect in this world. This is what he's Christian. He's a good friend of mine. He's one of my neighbors down south. He said to me, You know, we all make mistakes in this world, you know, and we do things we shouldn't do, you know. And I'll give you my experience from, you know, listening to my grandmother. She's born in 1930. She's going to have her 87th birthday. She's born around the Jim Crow days, and you can believe it or not, whatever, it's fine. You know, my grandmother used to say to me, we can't always blame the white man for everything. And I say, what do you mean? She said, you got to remember, the white man is always going to be here, and they're always going to be able to assume. But I look at it as if this black versus white, like,
it's not that though.
I'm giving you the real deal.
You're being honest.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm an honest man. I'm going to tell you the
Speak
truth.
your truth. Tell me how you feel about it.
And, you know, I feel like a lot of, not only blacks, I feel like there's other individuals who have done things, who've gotten caught up and mixed up into things. I think as me being a black person, a black individual, or a black guy, you know, constantly, I feel that we should all come together, no matter what race we are, no matter where we come from, no matter who we are. We're not perfect.
Yeah.
We're not perfect people. We all make mistakes in life. That's part of life. We have to learn from it. We have to have experience from it.
No, yeah, and that's I don't what you say. Yeah, we're human first at the end of the day, you know. So human lives matter at the end of the day. We're period. So it's like, and white people aren't the enemy. You know, the thing is, systematic oppression is real, and because systematic oppression is real, there are certain things in place that do make it harder for black people to, you know, attain certain things in life. But at the end of the day, like, the devil is really the true enemy.
I will give you this.
You know, it's all spiritual, but
yeah.
And, you know, we're all vessels at the end of the day, and people can have the choice to be used as they want to be. And it's all about working at the end of the day. Like, we just we have to just put our faith in God. Yeah. And we have to work, and we have to do it.
Well, let me say something. The only thing that is stopping us is what's within us. We're stopping ourselves from accomplishing our goals. We want to be able to blame this other individual when we have to blame ourselves. We have to take the blame. We can't say, well, we got to blame this person, blame that person. No, we have to blame ourselves. Because if we don't blame ourselves for the damage that happened, man, we're never, ever going to face the truth. We're never, ever going to face reality. We're just going to be in a bubble for the rest of our lives, depending on how life should be.
Yeah, and that's why I say be the change you want to see. And like you said, you had a friend who's Christian, and there is power in prayer. And at the end of the day, like, we're all one through the body of Christ, period. And we all do have, like, ultimately the same opportunity, even though might have the same starting point, you know, maybe not on the same planes, plateau, but still we can do anything. I genuinely believe that. And, you know, it just takes hard work. Like, hard work will really get you, hard work and faith. And if you know what I mean, like, at the end of the day, it's a fact. And there is, you know, because we're humans first, you know, this is just a skin we have, and we're pigmented, and, you know.
Let me give you my
and we do have different experiences. Being black, I'm not gonna lie, it does change your experience.
You know what? Like, let me tell you something. I used to coach over 10 years ago.
Yeah.
I used to be a coach in basketball, and I used to tell one thing to my team.
That's cool.
I tell them this: no matter what the obstacle is, no matter how rough it is, you're always going to have challenges. There's always going to be an obstacle in front of you, regardless of what it is. Always be ready and willing and able to face the challenges that come to you. You know, it's always going to be a challenge. It's not about just because someone being white, or someone being black, or someone being this, or someone being that. The main thing is you have to understand we all come together in one little small package. Let me tell you what my foster mother used to say to me. She said this. She said, and I quote, if you can't say nothing nice to the person, don't say anything at all. Don't criticize the person, not unless you've been in their shoes. I'm Native. Okay? There's an old saying goes like this. You can't talk about a person if you can't walk a mile in their moccasins. So we shouldn't talk about anybody or anyone or anything pronto.
It's a fact.
I can't talk about you. I can't talk about anybody. Not unless I walk a mile in their moccasins first.
Yeah. And you know, and then people will do it, but again, other people's opinions are irrelevant because people are going to say what they want to say and do. But it's like, that's all something we can't care what people think. We can't let that have bondage over us because, again, no one knows your story how you know your story. No one knows my story how I know it. And so, you know your truth at the end of the day because your truth is your truth. And you can't allow anyone else to cloud that because a lot of times it will be like outside voices and people will try.
Yeah.
They think they know, but they don't.
Well, you know what? You know what?
The next person's experiences.
If you take it from a perspective of view, I've talked to a lot of people.
I agree with what you're saying.
I have black, white, Spanish, Asian, all of my friends. I love everybody in this world. I don't care what color you are. Doesn't matter.
I believe you.
I don't care what color you are. I don't care where you come from. But when you come to this country, look at me when I say this. When you come to this country, act like you got some sense. Seriously. This is the greatest country in the world. I don't care who it's ran by. I don't care if it's ran by Indians or whatever. This is the greatest country in the world. Trust me when I say that. Black Lives Matter. I want you to get this through your skulls and understand this ain't a game. This is reality 101. I'm speaking truth. I'm not here to take sides. I'm giving you something from experience. I've been around the bend. I've seen things happen. I've seen violence, I've seen rage, I've seen anger, and I say, well, what is this going to change? What is it going to change? You see people destroying buildings, you see people destroying cars, you see this, that doesn't change anything. We need to come together as one. Stick together as one. Where's the unity in the community? What happened? Oh, wait, it died. It died. No one's doing anything. No one's taking responsibilities. Because I'm going to tell you this, if no one is taking responsibilities, then who is? Then who is? Who is taking responsibilities? We can't go out and blame the president. No. We can't go out and blame the mayor. No.
We have to be the change
No, we have to. Oh, you know what? You just hit me with something. As P. Diddy said, yeah, I got to give P. Diddy credit to do. Before we can change the world, we got to change ourselves.
That's a fact.
We got to change ourselves first. If we don't change ourselves, we are never, ever going to face the truth. That's truth, my friends. Hey, Black Lives Matters, get this message to the people. Love each other. Care for one another. Done. There you go.